My arrogance reporter. Have you ever been affected by arrogance?
Yes, oh yes. I guess we all have, huh? Yes, I have been, and I don't like it. And I try to not to be arrogant, but yes, I've encountered it, and I'm sure I've given out my little small doses because I guess in this particular society that we live in, we're conditioned, and to what class that we belong to. There's it comes from, I think, many different conditions in life. I suppose it's, as I say, that conditioning of the class that you come from, um, how you internalize it, what is your standards, what are your morals, um, and in the society we see that arrogance um, comes in many forms, and racism is one of the main forms. Sexism is also another form. It's very hurtful. Um, and myself, I've encountered because I, I, I've lived a life. I've raised 4 children, and was one of the poor working class women. And part of that time, I was a single mom, and I've experienced a lot of what arrogance this society has to offer to you. Um, I think we need to be aware of of how we approach life, and to try to treat each other with some reverence and respect. And treat life with a little more reverence. But you know, we are products of the society that we come from, and we live in a super arrogant society. And presently, we have a criminal government administration, and right now the war in Iraq is going on. Um, just last week we had Hurricane Katrina. We've seen what arrogance does, the deadly form it takes. Um, like the people that were appointed to the head of FEMA, those were Bush's cronies, those were his buddies. They had no experience, they were not prepared, and consequently, you know, many people suffered more than untold suffering, really, went on. There's people around the world that have suffered from um, the bombing, the killings, the militarism, all of that. And I consider myself part of a worldwide class of women, people, women, mothers. We all have the same kind of needs and desires. Um, we abhor war. We send our children off to fight and die in these wars. We're the losers in it. Um, and it's a shame that we live in that kind of society. But I suppose there's in every culture there's one rule, that's the golden rule, and that is in every language. Every culture has it, and that's do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And if we could just live by that rule, what a great world it would be. Huh? We could rise above so much um, of what's going on in the world now, because the world doesn't need to be this way. But I would say this here in my analysis: if we don't change, it'll be the death of us, because arrogance has got to go. We have got to begin to think differently and do differently, and we have got to demand those that are in leadership do differently. We have got to demand it. We have got to join together, unite, and demand that we do not invade other countries, bomb other countries, especially when they are non-threat. They're a non-threat country like Iraq was. Yeah, I could get off into the political aspects of it, but arrogance takes many forms, and we need to start each day in our own personal life to stop with the arrogant conditioning that we've been taught, especially in the arrogant society that we Americans live in. Because I love American people. American people are good people, but we have been conditioned.
Well, I'll thank you very much for your contribution to the arrogance report.
Sure. Thank you for asking.